I'm also going to tell them to gather some plants near our entrance right there, which can be done from the same menu, and then I'm going to ask them to chop down some trees over there. This is just general resource gathering. We might need this stuff later, so I'm going to tell them to pick it. So yeah, our dwarves are going to mine that out really fast, because there's not much there. So I'm going to go ahead and mine out our entrance, which is going to be a 3-wide corridor, like that. It's going to go back into our fortress proper. We're going to make a couple extra hidey-hole exits later, but for now, that'll work. So there's our entrance. Now I'm going to unpause the game. I'm going to zoom into our workers first. Here are all our dwarves. Dwarves are smiley faces, as you can see. Animals are letters. So H for horse, D for dog, capital D for donkey, capital E for elf or elephant, etc., etc. You'll learn them as we go along. I'll try and name them out as I see them so that you know what they are. I'm trying to name these symbols out so you get an idea of what they are. Those bars, actually, now that I think about it, those bars indicate that there are trees down there. Look, a tree. So you can see that a tree is just taller than a dwarf, of course. So I'm going to hit the unpause button and watch them go. Oh look, all of our dwarves run off down the hill. Let's follow them, shall we? What are you guys doing, huh? Oh look, you're digging. And you guys are cutting down trees and picking plants. That one right there, one in the middle is picking plants. The one, there we go, now we're cutting down trees. Blinking means that that's the active tile that they're working on at the moment. So we've dug in all of that stuff. Look at that sand. We've dug into sand mostly, but we're starting to get into some rock back there. Sand is, of course, the yellow, wavy bits. We've struck some lignite, as you'll note at the bottom of the screen. It will inform us whenever we strike a new rock. Lignite's actually really useful. We'll probably be using that later, but for right now, it's not that important. Alright, so our dwarves are done digging that stuff out now. Let's tell them to dig some more. We're going to go down a level, tell them to build a ramp up. This means that they'll build a ramp right there. And I'm going to tell them to dig even deeper, further into this area. This area is going to eventually be our military area. And I like to place the military area along the route to our fortress. Our caravans and whatnot will have to pass through this route in order to get to our fortress proper. Also is going to happen to pass through this route is any kind of invaders. If we place all of our military stuff near the entrance to our fortress, of course our military will be able to quickly react to any kind of invader situation, which is very good. So once they go back through here, we're going to want them to walk down another flight of ramps. So we're going to put in some more ramps. And then we'll have them go a little bit further. Oopsies, too much. And then I'm going to create a 5x5 area for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. 5x5 area, and that area is going to be for our trading depot. That's going to be our bazaar, if you will, where all the traders are going to come by and trade goods with us. So that's good to have right there, and that's good enough for now, and I'm going to unpause it and let them work on that. We're going to need that area for our traders to get to. Right now, I'm not really too concerned about feeding everyone. If I go to the stocks menu, we can see that we have 30 fish, 20 plants, and 80 drinks. That's more than enough for everyone to live off of for about, 1 or 2 seasons. So we're pretty much good there. And it's not really a big deal at the moment. Later, we're going to need some serious food production, but right now we can live off those stocks while we try and dig in and get a good base of operations set up. So I'm going to exit back out of that and let them work. And right now, it's not a big deal. We can pick more food, and we can brew more drinks pretty much at will with the food that we pick, because everything we can pick up are grown in the wild. See, we have some wild strawberries that we picked there, some hide root. I don't think we can eat that. Cutting down some wood, all good stuff. So we have a source of food and wood, and we need wood to make barrels, and barrels to make, brew beer in. And our miners are mining away, digging deep into the rock. You'll note that sometimes they leave behind those ovals. Those are stone. stones. We can use those for a myriad of purposes. Constructing new walls, for example, or turning them into nifty crafts. Our fortress will be drowning in stone by the time we're done with it, because every time we dig out a single location, we get out new stone. Sometimes it doesn't happen, especially with unskilled workers like we have right now. They're just barely trained miners. And sometimes that doesn't turn out very well, because when we're digging into things like a vein of iron, we want them for every little bit they mine out to find a bit of iron that we can use. So right now we're digging out regular rock, not a big deal. Mess it up a little bit. We're going to be drowning in stone by the time this is done anyway. But by the time they're done working on this, they should be really, really skilled. Hopefully they'll be legendary, which is the highest skill level they can obtain. Which means that they'll cut through rock like butter and always leave behind stone. And then we'll send them to jobs like mining out gold or what have you. So they're done with this little bit. I think they missed a few back here. They'll pick those up now, yeah. Now look, and that little down arrow, that blue down arrow, means that they've gotten thirsty. So I don't even have to tell them to go to get a drink, because they're going to run back to our wagon and take a drink. There's a nice little menu. Oops, that's not the menu. No, that's not the menu. Ah, there we go. There we go. Which tells you what everyone's doing. Right now our miners are digging. They're going to go back and dig. They apparently got their drink. Carpenter and woodcutter are doing nothing. Apparently they're not busy at the moment. Let's fix that. Let's go back down here. Oh look, they cut up everything and picked all the plants. So let's tell them to do that for a much larger area. I'm going to tell them to do that for everything on this level. Since this level is is the level where our entrance to our fortress is, they're just going to pick this stuff and leave it where it is, which means that when we want it, we don't have to go so far to go get it. A lot of dwarves will spend a lot of time just hauling things places. Now that they're done with that, we're going to carve out another little way, and now I'm going to build my central staircase. I build a giant staircase that raises up and raises down, which basically all of our dwarves will wander through. And then off this staircase we will put corridors, which will then lead to workshops, bedding arrangements, and what have you. First things first, though, we want to get some kind of food production set up. So I'm going to go up one level, and go up another level, and go up one more level, and this will be our food production level. And then the level above that we'll need to mine out as well, and I'll get into why here in just a second. But right now I'm going to have them dig these out, and on our food production level I'm going to dig 4 branches heading out. So 4 big hallways. Using shift to move will automatically move you 10 spaces to the direction, which may leave you with an 11 square long bit. It's really useful for just saying, hey, I want something that's this by this. Done. Problem solved. Not sure why that thing is longer than this one. Yeah, I built that one a little bit longer, but that's okay. So I'm going to have them carve out this room right here. And that room is going to be our farm. And some of you are probably thinking, you can't just build a farm anywhere. You know, you have to have good soil and whatnot. But you'll see, we'll get to that here in a bit. And you know what? We're actually arriving at the 30-minute mark here, where I've been talking, digging this stuff up. So we're going to let our doors work. I'm going to actually save this right now, hit the save button, which actually exits the game as well. None of that, you know, cheap save state abuse stuff. Nope, if you save the game, that means you're leaving. There should be no reason to save the game without leaving. Alright, and as soon as this saves, we're going to call it a game, and be done with it for now. And we'll come back and play some more of this later, after I get the idea of what exactly we really want to do with this fortress. I'm probably going to post this up in the forum somewhere, and let some people really come up with the idea of what they want to do. And so, there we go. We have it saved. We are, right there. That's our fortress. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and we will see you next time.